AD carry bans, because at least it started this series with 100 Thieves, 3 banning ADs.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing Team Liquid follow up with the Xayah. I mean, you know, Senna was already banned on the prior one, but it's going to be a little harder. We saw Jinx finally poke her head out just because of these bans, so we might see a return to Jinx.
I like this, though, sticking with Taliyah. To me, it's either Taliyah or Ahri here for 100 Thieves. And I don't think they're scared of APA Ahri, but they have shown that they've already been punished by APA Taliyah, so this is probably the better choice, even though Quid is a massive, massive Ahri player. And the Taliyah is obviously also a flex pick, so it doesn't pigeonhole them into it have to being Quids.
Yeah, and Team Liquid have done this draft before where they go Xayah, Rakan, and a 3-pick Ziggs. I think they want to be able to see a little bit more of 100 Thieves draft before they pigeonhole themselves into a Ziggs.
Yeah.
I mean, the Weaver's Wall has done its job to isolate a little bit of what Ziggs can do, but then he just chucks that nuke. It doesn't really matter. So that's my concern. So many teams have said we can play against it, and we're just wrong. It feels like any time there's been somebody that's been infinitely better on one champion than the rest of his pool, or just like a really strong champion in the meta, teams have been like, yeah, we could take it.
Ooh, are we gonna get some Lulu, some Aphelios Lulu after the buff? But yeah, I mean, Team Liquid, they've been slamming the Xayah Rakan 1-2 pretty much every single game. What is okay, Renata. It's interesting, yeah, because Team Liquid have also gone with a lot of, you know, that long range and counter engage.
Yeah.
So 100 Thieves this time around looks like they're gonna get a little bit of protection too. I'm always a really big fan of Renata with Aphelios also. You just have so many options yourself for counter engage now. Taliyah Rocks and Renata Ultimate. Looks like it's gonna be kind of flexible.
Yeah, the counter engage is quite nice. It looks like they're trying to drop top lane to 4-5. Team Liquid's probably just gonna go for a Ziggs here anyways. Or just like a mid lane. Oh!
Yeah, another APA classic. Farm it up.
How do you feel about the Aurelion Sol blind?
Farm it up. For APA, it's actually been, like, he hasn't been punished super hard.
Yeah.
Usually I would not like the Aurelion Sol, considering Taliyah could still be flexed, but for APA, it's the go-to. His Ziggs and his Azael have been it.
Yeah, he's been really willing to pick it early on in the draft. And yes, I say blind, yeah, as you mentioned, just because it could be a Taliyah flex. Top lane bans have been the story of second phase, though. Also,
the Aurelion Sol, the more I look at it, it is really good versus Aphelios. It is non-committal, and you can just drop the star on his head. Aphelios has issues with those types of long-range setups. If you get hit with an Aurelion Sol star, then Rakan locks you up. I really actually like this, the more I consider.
Oh, we got an Australian out there, at least an Australian appreciator. So respect to that guy.
Yeah, Spook's right there, the assistant coach on 100 Thieves.
Back-to-back coach of the split for him, previously on Golden Guardians, now on 100 Thieves. Something to take note of what Team Liquid does really well. We saw this during their Dignitas series where I think they know how to really pile up CC well around Aurelion Sol. I remember that one fight that happened around Botside River where it was like Rel ulti into Aurelion Sol ulti, and then they just get a double kill off that one. Now they have the Rakan ult, so they do have decent setup. It's just going to be hard to mention, as you mentioned, dive into the Renata.
Yeah. Renata and Taliyah can sometimes pose a difficulty there.
Yeah.
TL also banned the Poppy to ban another one of those counter engage dash stoppers. Poppy is so annoying for the Rakan.
It's just a Renekton 4, is it not, for Team Liquid? Wonder what 100 Thieves are going to pick into it, but...
Wukong has been coming back. But it's a little... Okay, never mind. We'll wait till the swaps continue. But just keeping Impact to have his counter pick here. Grab some sort of jungle.
I guess they're also afraid of Rumble that's still available but hasn't been picked, but both top laners have shown the willingness to pick it. That's a Yone pick! So it is a Taliyah jungle, a Renekton top, and a Yone mid. What?
Courage, aka Quid's son. I think Quid looking to make his son proud in this one. Slamming the Yone down. I love it. Into the Aurelion Sol here. That thing can cause so many problems. Wait a second. No way. Are we going to get a Shen? Oh,
playing.
Man, there were recent Shen buffs too. I was hoping we'd get Shen back because it's such an interesting champ with the global plus the dueling power.
Yeah.
But we go into the Gragas here. Go into the Gragas instead. Definitely a lot more of a nullifying top lane pick into Sniper's Renekton. Hopefully Impact, for his sake, doesn't get solo killed anymore, or he's never going to hear the end of it.
Fingers crossed. Which one do you prefer more? Which comp?
I got to go with the Yone. I'm a big Yone fan, but I know that Team Liquid just won a game by scaling, so.
Okay. Well, I'm interested. Let's hear from the casters, guys. Which one do you prefer?
Thank you, Raz and Kobe. What do you guys think?
I like the flex pick from 100 Thieves. I like the counter engage they have with Renata, but then I also just like the fact that Taliyah has been undefeated in this series. I think TL locked in the Azael because they're like, oh, cool, we can have the matchup we want. And then it gets flexed to Yone. So if 100 Thieves win, I think it's going to be a big reason would be Quid.
We talked about how 100 Thieves, and I know they talked about on the lounge as well, how 100 Thieves did have opportunities to win that game, Smolder aside, right? And this is another game, once again, where I feel like they have all of the tools they want to succeed. I do like that last minute flex for Quid's Yone, something that he really has looked great on. But on the side of TL, they're completely in their comfort zone too, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a comp that they'll be completely comfortable piloting. We've already seen the Xayah and Rakan from them. Core is having a sneakily good day after having like what I would say is a continuation of kind of a downward slide a little bit towards the end of his career. I thought his Rakan in particular was
I'll
really
push back
good.
a little bit because I thought last summer he was actually really, really good.
Okay.
But other than that,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I feel like he's been
This season, I would
yeah.
say, has been
the
a little rough for
last
him.
two splits, yeah, for sure. But it's gonna be a really fun game. I mean, I think Quid and APA, these are the two champions that kind of exemplify the playstyles that I think these guys are best at. It's Quid on a champion that has the ability to make plays. It's APA on a champion that can kind of neutralize the lane, that can farm up, and that can put out a lot of damage in team fights.
And the Umti Lee Sin, which has been a pick that's been banned this entire series, as well as the Umti timer we've had in the first 3 games of before 4 minutes, he's going to invade the enemy jungle. We'll have to track that.
All right, we got Kobe standing by with TL coach Spawn.
Thank you, Isaac. I'm here with Jake Spawn Tabiri. How are you happy with the draft? You've been slamming the Xayah plus Rakan, and they're face checking right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the draft, to be honest. I think that this time around, however, they're playing much more of what they played earlier in the playoffs, like a little bit more lane pride, a little bit more play for early fights. So I think as long as we get through relatively unscathed, which we are not right now, then it will be okay.
So you just won a game scaling with one of the dragons. Decided since Smolder's banned, we're going to go with APA's dragon. Are you worried about the Yone slam at all?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, last time we took our mid early and they had Taliyah, we banned Yone. But we thought Taliyah was actually a better mid lane pick for them. So kind of trying to incentivize getting it out of the mid lane, which we did. So now we just, we hold on for dear life in the early game and we see how late game goes.
All right. Number one most important thing in the early game for you to survive. What is it?
Not giving kills to the Yone.
All right, there you go. Casters, take it away.
We'll see if they can succeed there, but rough start in level 1 for the bot lane. All 3 pots gone level 1, didn't force a single one out there. As Meech getting a lot of use out of that fleet footwork move speed, plus the sniper gun, was able to kind of just walk them down.
You could see Spawn's face as it was happening. It's like, we just need to get through the early game, which we're not doing right now. As we see all lanes, 100 Thieves have taken control over that bot.
The life of a coach is not an easy one.
It's a weak role, man.
Coach needs to be buffed this patch?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, a lot of times you're just going with what the guys want to play anyway, and then once you're in game, like, they're the ones pressing all the buttons. You can't be like, look out for the gank bot. Like, no, they just have to know that for themselves.
Coach sucks.
Are you sitting there at your computer, like, mimicking, like, oh, man, I'm gonna do this ability, like your
Jatt's
hand
like,
is over
if
the
I was in there with Udyr.
QWER, you're all set.
We don't need to get into this too much, but I'll say the best thing a coach can do is not lose the game, because
That's
it's
true.
really the weakest of the 6 by far.
I would
Just
agree.
win, forehead.
Yeah.
All right,
Sounds
well,
good to me.
early base here from Meech.
But Spawn, okay, this is not a flame. Spawn is a really good coach. Like, I think he's actually really competent. He's been all the way through Academy. Both these guys have as well, and they consistently met each other in finals.
Why would that be flame?
What?
That's just a straight up compliment.
Because I just flamed the role. So like,
You're like, this is not flame. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's a stand-up guy.
Spawn, you're so
knows everything
great.
about
No
the game. His
flame.
drafting is solid. Not flame. All right, well, Umti hovering around mid lane here. He's got an absolute comfort pick. Most played for him as Quid's going to step forward there with the Sol inbound. Good sidestep on the Q from Umti, but Umti going to ward hop in and does use a safeguard to protect APA a little bit. Now they're just going to help him to reset this wave. And while River will continue farming, he's just going to be over on the Raptors for now.
And I do wonder if this game is going to be significantly slower than the first 3 games we've seen so far. As an update, the combined kills per minute in this series is 1.19, which is absurdly high. And just because game 1 was so fast, it's going to be hard to reset the LCS record for most kills in an overall 5-game series. But we've had 24 kills in game 1, 44 kills in game 2, 50 kills in game 3, and would need 44 kills per game throughout the next 2 to break the LCS record the Team Liquid and FlyQuest set in their series. Based on these comps, I don't think that's likely, since we do know the Team Liquid really just want to sit back and scale, but you never know once these teams get into the mud.
Yeah, TL want to sit back and scale, and I think this is the first time we haven't really seen Umti go for a super invade. Yeah. Instead, he goes mid, helps his mid get a better reset, which is really, really important in this matchup. Spawn talked about how worried they were for Quid's Yone with that flex pick coming late in draft. And I think it's going to look a lot more like game 1, where then suddenly the game is going to explode.
I think that's a real possibility, but I'm also really interested to see like how good 100 Thieves is at accelerating this specific game, because I'd say game 2 was the weird one for me, where Team Liquid with like the Xayah was constantly diving into 100 Thieves. Like, it's been Team Liquid that has engaged at least half of these fights, and now that only one team wants to engage, it's a test, because it's not like there's this handshake agreement that we all want to fight all the time. You actually have to get your correct setup. TL's not going to give it to them.
Yeah, and there's not really a lot of like guaranteed engage, shall we say, over on the 100 Thieves side, right? So they're the team that wants to push the pace, but it's got to be, you know, a flank from Sniper, or it's got to be an engage from Quid. There's not that easy go button that is going to make things happen, but there goes Core as he's going to be able to step forward. Ayla gets caught, the Ignite is down, and Umti is coming around the side. It's time to run here. The Sonic Wave going to be blocked by Meech, and that'll be the end of it. Good job by Meech, recognizing I'm full health. He can't actually finish me off. Ayla's the only one in danger.
2 summoner spells burned, so could make a repeat, but the 2 least important summoner spells burned, Meech and Eyla, both will still retain their flashes. And a lot of times you'd hope that gank could chunk someone low enough that you'd get Drake control. Nope, not the case. He actually has to just path all the way up, really just babysit APA. Perfect timing on that.
Gonna go in with the ulti, so it is just a trade as Umti, again, is covering him. And in these kind of matchups, especially with the popularized builds for Azael now, where they're just rushing straight Leandries and not building mana items, you actually do need help resetting your wave, because mana can be a significant issue for this champion. When you're not building a Lush Chapter or anything like that, Umti should be able to just back out of there.
Yeah, and one thing I do think was important about that little bot lane gank that we saw coming from Umti is that it did allow them to push out this wave a little bit, look up river, and kind of reset, take a little bit of the pressure off so they're not constantly slammed up against their turret. It would also give them, if 100 Thieves go down towards Drake, it gives them at least some rotation to know what's happening.
It has been kind of just this trade of pressure as Meech stepping forward, because Lee Sin obviously is spending more time covering, but we saw River spending that time farming, taking the 3 grubs as well, as Core going to get pulled back by the handshake. No flash force, stays calm, and is going to be able to just walk it out.
And I gotta say, like, this is a game from Umti that's gonna require a lot of strong mental. I know for pro junglers, when their team has 0 lanes that can get their own push organically, it feels unplayable. Because every time you go for a gank, there's a good chance you're warded, and there's a good chance the other lane would win a 3v3 or a 2v2. So the fact that we haven't had a kill so far is actually a big accomplishment by Team Liquid.
Also worth noting, the Impact had pushed on top side, took that time, walked down, got a ward over on the enemy blue buff, which gave him the intel that likely River's going to be bot side. He's not top, so we're able to back it out, and it's going to be Umti actually starting this dragon off.
Oh man, if they get this Drake, it's robbery, and I think they're actually going to get it. I think they're going to get it with the way those resets happen from 100 Thieves bot lane.
Yeah, and TL, again, we've talked about their kind of like what makes a macro focus or like what makes them better than 100 Thieves going into this matchup with how they see the map. It is setups around objectives like this and making the most of the resets that the enemy team gives you.
You have to look up at top lane as well. Sniper actually getting pretty low off a couple of these trades as he'll back up a little bit, pop some potions. Quid gonna be looking with the Soul Unbound. Does find the knock up onto APA. He's gonna get knocked out, but Core is here. Sniper getting very low, but in comes River. Can they find the setup? There's the stun. There's the seismic shove. Impact, no way out, will go down. First blood claimed by River.
Really nicely done. Impact, no flash from an earlier fight. And Sniper will want to open that up. I mean, the fact that they're going to have that Renekton for the next spawn of Grubs, for like the Rift Herald, they're really going to have an opportunity to
back to mid lane, though. Fate is sealed. APA in trouble. The tower shots will not be enough. Wow. As it's a solo for Quid coming up huge in the mid lane. Umti going to go forward. Caught by the handshake. Here's the hostile takeover. Has to flash out of there. Cleanse forced as well. TL really trying to get something on the bot side here. But the CS advantage is so small. Now they're stepping forward. Yeon could be in trouble. They're looking for Meech. In goes Umti. There's the kick. There's the bailout. It's going to expire. Down goes Meech, and now Ayla's in trouble. TL can just wait, reset this. Core needs to pull aggro. He's going to do it with the ulti. Now just step out of range. Nicely executed on the redive there from TL. They felt the pressure to make something happen on the bot side after a kill in mid and a kill in top, and they were able to get it done.
Yeah, and you could see how they were setting up for that bot side play coming out of the Drake. As we relive this solo kill, we see exactly why they were so concerned about this Yone. And again, this play on bot is something that they've been setting up since the Drake take. You saw them placing the vision down to kind of take complete control of this bot side.
Yeah, and I think it is, honestly, though, very greedy by 100 Thieves to step up and take this 2v2 when Lee Sin is right next to them. They were only losing about 3 additional minions. They could have waited for Quid to walk down, and they had just gained advantages in both the top and the mid lane. They were so primed to run away with 2 of the lanes and only be slightly behind the bot lane, but I think now Team Liquid might have a window to bridge towards the end of the game. They burned both summoners from Meech. They can continue to target him, and Yeon has the opportunity to get very strong now.
And we'll see if he's going to be able to do it, because he's going to need to, as Quid is going to be putting on a lot of pressure. Up a good 20 CS mid lane, got a solo kill, took a plate, and that's even with Umti making multiple trips to mid lane to try to help APA reset that wave.
I'd say maybe the best game Quid played in the spring split was when they flexed the Aatrox mid lane to play against Insanity's Scion. And obviously, a lot of players can play flex picks and you can get counter picks, but it just seems to be extremely effective for Quid. When they have the Taliyah, they set up this counter pick, and he's poised to really take over this game. He already 1v1 solo killed the Azael under his turret. He's 20 CS up, and I really want to see what Quid can do with this advantage.
Yeah, as we see River hovering towards bot side, and Umti looking for something mid now onto Quid.
There's the kick. We'll see if they can find it. Falling Star comes through. It does connect. The stun is there. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, not going to be enough damage. Quid uses Fate is Sealed to get out, plus the flash. So nice little attempt. Doesn't cost TL too much.
I mean, it did cost them the 2 ultimates, but if it can actually give them a window into picking up these grubs and denying the 6 grubs from 100 Thieves, it would be more than worth it, because they only had to sack a little bit of bot lane pressure to make that happen.
Yeah, let's see his Umti.
They got the 1, 5-1.
Yep.
Not a total disaster.
True. I mean, it's actually pretty important. The difference between the 5 and 6, the double Void Might spawn is big, but River's coming up here. I believe he has that ulti ready, so Weaver's Wall could come through. Quid and River are looking, but gonna elect to just go for that red buff instead, as Eyla had made a move up towards them, and Umti now spots that River is on this. Don't think he's gonna want to take that in, as it would be a bit dangerous. The red's just gonna be secured by River, and should be an easy exit.
Yeah, as we see Eyla looking mid. The thing that's really impressive coming out from TL is how much vision they do have around this bot side.
Oh, wow.
And we'll see whether they'll be able to make the most of that to potentially set up a turret dive.
I mean, or just control this Drake. They already got the first Drake, and they can buy themselves a ton of time if they get the first 2.
Oh, Ayla's spotted. Umti sees him. Thought he might have looked for a go there. And back to mid lane, Soul Unbound. APA going to take the bad end of another trade here, as Umti will steal the red away. So it is red for red, but he gets the flash on top, and that has got to feel good. Ayla stepping forward, handshake going to connect onto Yeon. Should be able to just walk it out. as CoreJJ is back, and that narrowly missed on River. Not that I think he would have taken it.
Yeah, really trying to put the pressure on this bottom lane, buy time for APA and Impact to scale up. They haven't lost those lanes that badly, 10 CS and 30 CS plus a death on both of them, but the overall game being
the second one sounded kind of bad. 10 CS didn't sound so bad. You're like 10 CS, I'm like, okay, I'm with you. Like 30 CS, a solo kill and play.
Yeah, not that bad. It's just a matchup.
We're scaling.
So here's the question, like, I really haven't seen that many Azael Gragas Lee Sin comps. Like, does that really scale that much better than Taliyah, Renekton, Yone? I think it is somewhat close. Like, I think overall 100 Thieves is primed for a pretty successful game.
I think the one thing I will say is there's a lot of pressure on Quid, and when you're going in as that primary engage, you don't have something to really follow up on as much.
Yeah.
If you go in and you get CC'd by Core, you know, body slammed and so on by Impact, you could get 100 to 0, and that's where I think the ease of execution is there much more on the side of TL. Taliyah scales really, really well. Yone scales really, really well. Exactly. But is it going to be as easy to get done what they have to get done? That's my question.
That was what I was going to say is, to Azael's point, I think it's the ease of execution in terms of how the composition works and how they can set up around objectives is really good.
But the easy execution of Yeon just getting a bunch of gold as well is, and also probably getting this first turret as
click the CS.
Go for the Rift Herald. This bot lane is massive for TL.
And yeah, they've had complete Drake control as well, which again, we were talking about like, okay, what are some ways that they end up getting through the mid game? Well, forcing the other team to fight them constantly at Drake, being able to have that set up on bot side is one of those ways.
And it's also worth noting it is going to be Stridebreaker Rush here for Sniper, something a little bit less common, but does have that additional slow in. Can be nice against some of these more slippery champions over on the other side, and it's going to be Blade of the Rune King here for Quid. We'll see where he wants to go second, but Bork into IE is pretty common these days and can allow you to be a really strong side laner, especially if you're going to be matching up against Gragas, who obviously is building a lot of health.
And I think Sniper getting all-pro third team in his rookie split, and then Quid and River getting all-pro first team speak to the way 100 Thieves have won games throughout the regular season. They had such a surprisingly dominant regular season, going 10-4, getting the #2 seed. Yet here they are now, one game from elimination against Team Liquid, needing to press the go button. And honestly, this game is kind of going how they would want it to go. Sniper's ahead, Quid's ahead, River's ahead. They have the opportunity to make plays. They just have to execute now in the big moments, because being down 2 Drakes and only being up 700 gold does put the pressure on those top 3 to really play well.
And I think that big moment might be this next dragon, right? Because the first 2 did go to TL. If you give up 3 dragons in a row, it could be pretty tough.
Here
River is behind him. It's going to be a flash forward. There's the seismic shove in. The combo is there. APA trying to get out of there. He's got almost no health. He turns around and he just breathes down fire onto Sniper. And now River in trouble. He's got a blast cone, but I don't know that that's getting you out of there. We'll see if they can get anything back. There's the kick onto Yone, and Yone is just gone. The only fate he sealed was his own as he went in with that ult.
Yeah, as we see APA TPing up after that to catch topside wave. Again, TL are this team that's
dead.
so...
Thank you, Jatt.
Well, it's just a little bit unlucky that I did this whole monologue on their top
about
side.
the top side, and now they're all
3
dead.
of them die immediately after. That's so disastrous for their state in this game. APA didn't even die during that.
No.
Coach Liquid, and now you're cursing the other team. Curious.
I do what I can.
Jatt, five head level, please.
You're saying Coach is the worst role, but where does Caster rank in that? How much effect are you having here, Jatt?
Caster curses are way too OP. I don't understand it. I never have, but it's true.
What do you have to say for yourself now that you've cursed the entire 100 Thieves topside?
I'm sorry to the 100 Thieves fans, but I'll just say, like, if you're not making a comeback, like, is it even worth it? You want to be able to earn your way. Like, think about how much more exciting it'll be now if they can overcome this deficit in Game 4 and still win Game 5. Think of the momentum they'll have for the rest of the playoffs.
It's going to be Eyla riding this one in. Tokyo Drift's going to juke him out. He's going to top lane. He realizes he would just die there, so he's just going to run this up to the top. I actually like this.
They're going to get top turret.
Yeah, they're going to get top tower. I don't know if he's going to reach all the way. I think it's going to expire. So you do lose the health, unfortunately, but the charge will still go off. So they're going to get the tier 1. I actually think that was clever. I realized that there was kind of an overload of members there. As this is weird. It didn't even elect charge. I guess there's a little mini cooldown, I think, after you use it. Yep. Going to be going soul unbound onto impact. But we've seen some pretty clever plays. Was it XU last week who did the crazy drift from mid down to bottom and actually hit the tower? That's the coolest one I've seen in the LCS for sure, but this was maybe a close second.
Yeah, I like it when you break the mid turret and then drive through the jungle to the bot turret.
That's the best one.
That one's definitely really nice.
This one is like you swerved off the road into the ditch. Like you didn't die,
but you didn't
your
hit
car.
the deer that was on the road.
Exactly, but you're like side of your
still
car's a little
alive.
scuffed up. Like it's not the ideal use of your Rift Herald.
There you go. But it's something.
Yeah. He drove it.
Yep. And you got to say, we checked in on APA a while ago, was down 30 CS. Things have stabilized. And this is kind of one of the difficulties about champions like Azael, about champions like Ziggs, is you hit this certain point in the game where all of a sudden the wave just instantly dies. And then it becomes very difficult to interact with them. He's no longer as limited by his mana.
Yeah, and I think as we see TL once again setting up for this Drake off of 100 Thieves reset, they should have complete control over this bot side of the map still. Although Quid should rotate up to be able to push out this bot side wave.
And I do think that because of how far behind Meech and Eyla are, it's relatively difficult for them to get pressure. But like the one thing here is they have pushed this bot side, so they have the ability to maybe flank when this dragon happens. And I think giving over this third Drake is really risky for 100 Thieves. But at the same time, if they lose this fight badly, the timing sets up that would also be
Weaver's wall coming in. They're going to try to go for Yeon. APA is going to get flicked back. APA is in trouble, but it's Impact in the backline, disengaging the fight. The falling star's coming down, and it's going to be River falling already. Sniper trying to fight his way out of this, but Ayla's gone, River's gone. Quid just now arriving. It looked like that was a fight that they were trying to pick, but Quid was nowhere nearby.
They just seem out of sync.
Yeah, the most important thing is that Quid wasn't there as he goes on to Umti.
Yeah, Quid going in on Umti. They get the shutdown as he gets stunned up, and the Soul Unbound does help them to get that kill. So both teams without a jungler now, but it's Umti with the larger respawn. Flashing in his Impact. He's going to go for the body slam, but it might just deliver a bag of gold to the opposing team. Fate is sealed, but it's TL falling. Yeon stepping forward. Meech is gone, so they do battle back, and now the resets come through. The dragon takes flight, and he's looking for Sniper. Won't be able to get him, but Quid gets a couple back as TL gets sloppy towards the end of that fight.
Absolute bloodbath, and actually Quid wants to finish the job. He still has Flash, he's teleported behind them. At the very least, they want to push them out so
Looking,
they can get
has
that
the
Drake.
Q3, nice sidestep from Yeon, but I don't think it even matters. No, it does! Just barely survives. The calculations weren't quite there. APA will fall, but it does cost them the flash, and it means they will grab the dragon. So that is critical. At the end of the day, back and forth, very scrappy. But TL, don't walk away with the dragon that they were coming for.
Yeah, it's so important for 100 Thieves to be able to stop that Drake stacking. And now you see why they always want to fight with Quid, right? Because, again, one of the big things that goes wrong initially with River going in, and Jatt, you pointed out how they're still in sync, is that Quid is still all the way down on this side of the map, still rotating up to the fight.
And Sniper, by the time he does damage, 2 people on his team are dead. And this is, Team Liquid got so confident off of this because, again, if they're playing this game optimally, they just take the third Drake and it might be over. But going in, 700 gold onto Sniper there for killing Umti, and then the additional kills they picked up as Team Liquid kind of doubles down on fighting in the mid lane since their jungler is dead. Keep them in this game. That initiation could have been the season over for 100 Thieves, but now we're very much in the thick of things. Only 300 gold the difference. Sniper actually going to kill this turret and give them a slight gold lead, and only a 1 dragon deficit.
And these fights are so scrappy with multiple members kind of escaping with slivers of health, which has been kind of a hallmark of this entire series. I do definitely think, again, we were talking about ease of execution. It's pretty easy to pick off people. I think TL has better ease of execution. But obviously, if 100 Thieves are going to make picks and TL make themselves available, I think Quid is already a massive, massive problem in this game.
I think he is as well. I think maybe a bigger problem, though, would be this 4-kill Xayah. Yeon has had such a strong playoffs. He had 51 kills last week alone. He's had an early game advantage in most of the games this series, and he is poised to carry Team Liquid to finals weekend. If he can protect this lead, I think the things he definitely needs to watch out for is just any wombo combo.
Falling star coming down, and they've caught Eyla. We'll see if he can find any way out of this. Doesn't look like it. He's going to be charmed up, but Sniper TP's into the backline. Ayla's still alive. There's the kick flash. It's onto River, but there's not a follow-up until just now. River is down, but Sniper is going to get caught. He's going to get caught by the blade caller. Yeon has a perfect one, but he's shut down by Sniper as he survives the onslaught. He gets into the back line. It's up to APA now. He flashes forward. He's going to be able to get a big shutdown there, and now gets the resets. Flying forward. He's looking for Quid, but he's going to be rooted by Meech, and he's going to be finished off. But on the other side, Impact and Umti, they get 1-2, and now they're hunting for Meech. They have to be careful, though. Meech is full health. He doesn't have his summoners. They got to do this perfectly. If they botch the engage, it could go bad for him. Stepping forward, there's the body slam, and now the CC comes in. No way out for Meech. Well executed by TL.
These fights are being decided on such slim margins. You could see the trepidation with CoreJJ not wanting to over-engage, knowing that the bailout was going to come at one point, Renata. And then 100 Thieves used that to buy time for the teleport to come in. And I really want to watch Yone on the back end of this fight because he buys so much time and does so much damage.
Yeah, Xayah, inherently a champion that just has so much escape on her own, gets the blade caller route there. And even though they are able to shut him down, then APA is still a massive damage problem. And Impact and Core constantly have CC for him.
And at the tail end of this fight, Quid getting the huge burst of damage so Meech can pick up Ace Soul is important, but I think what's more important is the summoner spell usage. Like, no flash on APA, still a timer for Yeon's flash. So if 100 Thieves could find a way to go fast, although I don't really feel like they have a good way to set up, that would be a window for them to get something done.
And Meech just now got his summoners back, so that's going to be big on the other side. We'll see if they can find any sort of an opportunity to get it done. I think you have to be looking at Quid for that, though, and right now he's sitting bot lane, so not much of an angle thus far. Next Dragon going to be up here in about a minute, and both teams will look towards controlling mid, trying to get vision in that area.
I just love this series, man.
Yeah.
We were saying, like, they got this scaling comp. It's going to be really slow. And then here we go. 21 kills in 24 minutes already with no sign of slowing down. It just feels like the fights are accelerating. Umti.
Umti's going to have to get out of there as there's the Weaver's wall. APA is caught. He's going to be stunned up by that. He's going to be flicked back. And APA's got no way out. The Falling Star buys a little bit of time. Immediate pings, though, onto Baron. They're going to try to look for it.
Yeah, and the shutdown went to Meech, right? So suddenly this Aphelios could also be a problem.
And 100 Thieves, I think they're willing to flip it.
Sniper going forward, going to be able to force out the Featherstone. The Blade Caller could be there to follow it up. Not going to find the angle onto Sniper to root him off of that. Now that you force the ulti on Yeon, the turn is so easy.
That's the big thing. Even if he does have his flash up, it's really hard for them to approach this fight. They got white-red. That usually means don't fight.
It's up to Quid, though.
He's going to have to do it.
Quid has flash and ult, and he's going to be the key member here. We'll see if he can find Yeon. He's going to look now. There's the knock-up. He's going to get CC'd, though, and he might just get burst down. He tries to go with the Vader Seal, but it's flash, and the bailout will not be enough. Quid has fallen on the other side, and all the TL members still living. Body slam flash. They caught Meech, but he's going to be flashing over the wall to safety. Sniper hovering, trying to look for an angle here on Yeon. Yeon has the cleanse back, I think. No, it must still be on cooldown. He's going to get burst down, but Umti does finish one off. Again, TL with this core 3 alive, but now Eyla is here alongside Meech, and this could be problems for them, but APA's back. He's respawned, and here comes the mid laner. It's a double for APA, and they can head straight for the Baron.
Wow. Yeah, I was wondering if, I was like, is this going to go long enough for APA to come and just rejoin the fight off of the backside? What is happening in the LCS game? I think it's that
League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun time. I'm having fun. You guys having fun?
Yeah, 28 kills now, over 1 kill per minute in this game. Absolutely razor-thin margins in these team fights. The start of it was the pick onto the flash plus APA. We knew 100 Thieves was going to flip it, and watch Quid. He needs to make this play happen, but Yeon bursts him as his whole team peels for him. He flashes the ult, gets the last hit. Look at how low Core is. If Core dies there, quick resets, he doesn't die. That's how close this is. Umti executes River on the back end to secure it, and it's just a bloodbath.
And I just gotta call out how perfectly they CC chained Quid. It was body slam into the root from Yeon, into the charm from CoreJJ, into a knockup from CoreJJ. Everything layered pretty much perfectly there. And that is the danger when you're going in. Even with the shield bow, he couldn't survive. We're back to live, though, in another fight as the Falling Star is going to connect immediately down on the River, and River's got nowhere to go. The bailout buys no time at all, and on the other side, another is down. Meech is gone. This could potentially just be the end. They're going to be pushing forward here. They've already got a wave. The pings are going in. Can they get another kill? Can they even try to end this game? There's no base happening right yet from Quid. He's going to try to make them come back, but I mean, this is a barrened up team.
Even if they do base, it's 5v2. Sniper, 1 level 16 Crocodile. He's got to try and keep 100 Thieves season alive.
All right, it's all up to this. It's up to Sniper. It's up to Quid. Can they find the angle? Sol inbound. He's going forward, but he's CC'd up. And Quid has got to get out of there. Sniper now trying to make something happen, but both ultis are used. Their Sniper's used his. Quid still has his, but TL are focusing the Nexus towers. They can smell the next round of the playoff, and they're going for it. Quid goes in, but he's down. Sniper is down. River and Meech are back, but I don't think it's going to be enough. TL with their eyes on the Nexus. They're going to take it. 3-1 is the series. TL will advance in the lower bracket and make it to finals weekend.
Congrats to TL. It's so exciting to see how they've evolved over playoffs, right? We were talking about how shaky they were in season, how it didn't seem like they were necessarily all on the same page as we see them hug. They're focused on bot side. Yeon really showing up in these team fights today throughout their entire playoff run has made such a massive difference for this team.
Now 2 series away from an LCS title. They take down 100 Thieves 3-1. I'd say APA, for me, overperformed his expectations so much. 2 really solid Taliyah wins. Gets hard counterpicked in this matchup, Yone versus Azael, but still comes in clutch, cleaning up those late game fights and really just turning the scaling on. This game only lasted 28 minutes, so Team Liquid guaranteed top 3, at least equaling their finish from Summer Split last year, and as I said, 2 series away from the title.
We've talked about Scrim 100 Thieves. Is this Scrim TL? Showing up on stage now?
I mean, based on the bloodiness of these games, they've been able to flip a switch because they were so cautious in the regular season, and they are so not cautious in the playoffs.
Well, I think one of the things I'm really liking about how TL are playing is they have clearly settled on their play.